Good morning, everyone. My name is Andy. This is my brother Mish, and this is episode 15 of the Major Vibes podcast.
15 already?
Yeah.
Oh my!
I messed up the intro again. I called it the Major Vibes podcast, not the Major Vibes show.
You're really all firing on all cylinders today.
I'm out of it today. I told you.
Yeah, what happened, brother?
Nothing. I've been like out nonstop for 3 days. I haven't relaxed. I haven't sat on a couch or anything, and I've just been going nuts for 3 days straight. And all I want to do is see no one and talk to no one.
Well, it's
and I've been burdened with seeing everyone and talking to everyone. So, and I forgot my brain wasn't working this morning, so I left the normal mics that we use, the ones that attach here at my house. So we're using this. We're going old school today.
Well, these are tried and true.
They are great.
They are the best. We don't have mic stands.
They look cool. I feel important holding it. It is pretty heavy. It's my workout for the month.
Hey, excellent.
Yeah, so
Gains.
we're good to go.
So episode 15. Do you know that most podcasts don't make it to 20?
I didn't know that.
That's insane.
So we're almost there.
I know.
5 more weeks. Easy.
5 more weeks. And this will be the 4th one in a row. Like we haven't missed a week.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
Consistency is key.
It sure
ladies
is.
and gentlemen of the Federation.
All right. Today is the end of the month. It's the last pod of the month of March. So normally we highlight the vibers of the day, the vibers of the week. We're going to also highlight the vibers of the month. So let's begin with vibers of the day today, Saturday. In third place, we got Brandon with a 96. Really well done, Brandon. You've been crushing it.
Amazing.
In second place, tied with a 96, is Gunner. So
Gunner representing the lacrosse world out there.
yeah, I've never met you, Gunner, but you seem to be gunning in second place. So good for you.
Heck yeah.
And then in first place, we have Mish with a 98. Vibe
Holy
score
crow.
on a Saturday. What did you do last night to warrant that 98?
I was in bed at 8:37.
Wow.
We put on Murdoch Mysteries. We even brought up the Chromecast from downstairs, plugged it in the bedroom.
Okay.
And I lasted about 9 minutes into the episode.
Wow.
Blue blocking glasses, low calories. But I'll tell you, yesterday afternoon, I felt like ordering donuts. I felt like...
Oh, you told me that when we were playing golf.
Yeah, I just wanted to go rogue.
Okay.
But I don't know, I had a sumo orange and called it a night.
Damn. That was nice. Golf was very zen yesterday. I was hitting balls better than I have been in a long time. I was hitting good putts. So golf was really nice and zen, especially on a Friday afternoon. Best way to end the week. My vibe today... Oh, normally we talk our vibes too.
There are no rules here.
My vibe was in the 70s today, 73 or 71 or something like that. And I've been like in the 80s and above mostly for the last few weeks. But for me, the biggest contributor to lower vibe today, which is not even that bad, was I normally eat around 5 or 6 p.m. and then I don't really eat after that. If I do, it's an apple or an orange, something healthy. But yesterday, my buddy wanted to go for dinner at 7:30. And I was like, 7:30, man, that's late. And I was like, well, no, if I decline every dinner that's not at 5 o'clock, I'll just be home alone all the time.
You got to live sometimes.
So might as well. But it was just like 7:30 is when I wind down, But I took a shower, washed the car, went out for dinner, had a great time at dinner. But yeah, I finished eating at 9:30 or something like that. Got home at 10. And then I can't just get home after a night, even if it's early, like getting home at 10 o'clock. I can't just go to bed. I need that decompression time.
Yeah.
Except yesterday, that decompression time lasted like 4 hours after I got home. So I was asleep at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, it must have been a good night though, a good night out because you were all revved up. Like you got those social juices flowing for sure, right?
Yeah. But to be honest with you, as soon as I got home, I got a crazy headache.
Oh,
Last
what'd you
night.
eat?
A steak and a salad.
Okay. What sauce did you go with?
Peppercorn.
Nice choice.
Yeah, it was great sauce there. But anyway, yeah, so I think I said it yesterday though. I was like, oh, my vibe's gonna be crap tomorrow morning because my battery is my internal battery is low.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It makes sense. But you've been on a purple tear recently. Like your 90-day chart I was looking at started really gaining momentum in February, and that's a really beautiful thing. So
yeah.
You were in
no man's
Stall
land.
City.
Yeah, I was in no man's land for like 3 months. I don't think I had maybe one purple day in 3 months. So yeah, now we're good. We're feeling good.
Good on you.
Yeah. But anyway, okay. So those are the vibers of the day. Vibers of the week. In third place, we have Emma with a 91. She's been crushing it ever since she came on Pair. So Emma, great stuff. Keep it up.
Shout out Emma.
In second place, we have a 4-way tie for the week with a 94 average, which is huge. That's like near perfect. You've got Vanessa, you got Mish, you got Bran, and you got Vanessa's friend that she brought on, Katarina.
Hey, look at that.
Which is shocking to me because Katarina, if that's how you say her name, she's been getting like amazing scores. She's been at like the top of the charts and she lives in Las Vegas, So like most people's preconceived notions of like Las Vegas is like, how do you even sleep in Las Vegas, But I guess if you live there, you don't live on the strip, you don't live at the Cosmopolitan, that Crystal Bar.
Yeah, if you live in Orlando, I'm pretty sure you're not going to Disney World every day.
I have friends that live in Orlando or near it, Miami. They are at Disneyland every week. I know people who live in California who are at Disneyland every week. Like they're crazy. It's awkward for me to even see it. I don't understand it. And I love Disney. I love cartoons. I love all that stuff. But like to go there every week, it's crazy.
Okay, well, I guess Katarina though is not going to the Paris hotel every night.
No, she's definitely not. So she's killing it. And then in first place, wait a second. They had a 92 score. I'm sorry, I messed it up. So they were tied in second place with a 92 score.
Okay, yeah,
for the week.
makes sense.
Yeah, and then in first place we got Sipo with a 93 vibe score for the week, which is crazy. And he's on like a huge streak of purples, and I think he's at 24 days. He had
22 or 23.
Let's see.
Let me see. Let me just real quick R&D. But we could talk about Sipo. Sipo is the example of insane growth, progression, health improvement in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Like it's really been amazing. Let me just pull him up here because Sipo deserves our time and attention here. So yesterday he was on a 22-day purple streak.
Okay, so he had a 22-day purple streak, but not only that, among that purple streak, he had like 4 or 5 pink days.
In a row.
Pink is a 100 score. It's almost impossible to get. I've never gotten it. He had 4 of them in a row.
Yeah, so as we start to develop more awards and accolades, purple streaks, above your average is the first one. But a 4 in a row purple, that's like got to be pink in a row. That's unheard of.
Yeah, that's
so he's an absolute beast. And I know Saturdays he's got to get up like extra crazy early.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it brought his streak to an end. But we need to celebrate Sipo because, man, not only are you vibing high, but you are so interactive on the app.
Yeah.
You're an absolute pleasure. Your wife, Athena, is also an absolute pleasure on the app, and we love having you there.
Yeah. So you've been crushing it. You've been killing it. So it's great to see that. And now let's go for the top 3 of the month of March. In third place, drum roll, Emma with a 91 average for the whole month. That's really good stuff. So Emma, once again, congratulations.
Extremely impressive, extremely consistent.
Consistent, impressive, awesome. Love to see it. Second place with a 92 for the month, we got Mick.
I'll take it.
Or Mish. Huge. That's a crazy score. And then in first place, we have Chris, aka Sipo, with a 93 average for the entire month. Crazy work, amazing stuff. Really, really good to see it.
We love it. We love you. Absolute legend.
Yeah. So that's really good stuff. And then to take it, let's say a topic of the day, or not a topic, something to talk about maybe is seeing people on Pair when they come onto Pair, when they start, and then when they've figured out what's going on, and then they start to change a little bit and improve. And we've noticed that not only with Sipo or myself, but with a lot of users. I'll go in and I'll look at, okay, what are their scores in the last 60 days, 30 days, 90 days from when they came on? And for the most part, everyone's scores and averages have pretty much gone up.
Which is amazing because a lot of these people have had devices for a long time and we have a lot of historical.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as it comes into a public, stratosphere, there's a willingness to improve that is completely different than when you're doing it alone.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge game changer. And I think we're onto something really cool because everyone, like a lot of the people on Pair, everyone has a device. They track their sleep. They know their heart rates. They know all of that stuff. They've always known that stuff for the most part. Maybe not the Apple Watch users, but the majority of users have done that. But the big differentiator here is now other people can see your stuff. Other people can see when you're slacking. And I thought maybe that would bring a little bit of pressure to the users, but it really hasn't. I don't feel the pressure. But I do, it innately makes me want to do better and feel better. So how do I say it?
No, it's not really social pressure. And it's funny, I was listening to a podcast clip. I like to listen to podcast clips.
Mhm.
You guys, I don't know, YouTube clips. And there was these two guys talking about CrossFit and how CrossFit is, because it's a community workout and it's people that you're working out with on a consistent basis. If you don't show up once or twice, they'll like message you, yo, Dre, where you been? Like, we missing you. Is your shoulder injury like healed? Are you coming back?
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you work out alone and you just stop, there's no one gonna call
Yeah.
and no one gonna check up on you to see how you're doing.
Mhm.
And that's the same exact principle. So the huge, like CrossFit people are jacked. Like CrossFit people are in amazing shape. And it's not just because they're doing the exercises. They have that social glue
Yeah, they go there, they motivate each other, they pump each other up, they help each other, encourage each other.
that keeps
One
them bringing
person's
back.
injured, it's like, yo, take it easy. We're all gonna we're still gonna be here when you come back.
It's a beautiful thing. And
Yeah.
we're doing this with Vibe we're doing it via the Vibe score. This sleep is doing it, but people are not. Optimized sleep is it's not like you're like, oh, tonight I'm going to get good REM sleep. No, it's like what
You have to work throughout the day and your nighttime routine in order to master your REM sleep or whatever,
so
right?
sleep is the result of your behavior.
Mhm.
You're not going to just maximize your sleep by like hoping you do. You have to do stuff. But
No.
by everyone doing this on the app and people sharing what they're doing, Zalata yesterday, she said she's been a funk. Her Ura tells her that she's experiencing more stress. She did some kind of like fruit cleanse or something like that.
No, she's gonna do a fruit cleanse.
I think she started because she got 80 today.
Oh, she's had a purple day today?
She posted it. She's like, yes. She's like, Care,
Nice.
you got to hire me. She said that in the post.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, it's great to see how people are using it. And because you can build an app and create based off your ideas what you think people are gonna use your platform as. But you never know. Maybe they'll hate it. Maybe they're not going to use it the way you thought they were going to use it. But this is like exceeding our expectations. I know it's just a small pool of like 50 or so people in our beta test, but it's still it's great so far.
I can say for a fact, for myself, for you, for Trin, and for many other users, but us three specifically, since the introduction of streaks, our charts have become way more purple.
Yeah, totally. The streaks that we added. So the streaks for those who aren't on our platform, if you have a day above your average, a purple day, 2 days, you get a streak, a number 2 with a little flame on it. And since we introduced those streaks, people have been like, they don't want to ruin their streak. Let's say they have 3 or 4 great days. Even let's say it's you've had 4 days in a row, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or whatever. You want to keep it going on Saturday. You know, it's the weekend. You know, today's your day. You can mess around a little bit. You can indulge in sweet treats or a little bit of alcohol, maybe a little weed or something. But you might not do that. Or you might just do it earlier in the day because you want to keep that streak going. So it's almost like an inception. Pair is almost like an inception of like, you're doing things to get that purple day, but every day that you get a purple day, you literally feel better. You've slept better, your quality is better, your heart is better, and then everything around your life is better. So
There's no losing, and you're going to think twice about a behavior because you're like, oh, I'm on a 3-day streak. I can make it 4 very easily by just not having these 3 chocolates at 9 that are going to take me into the blue zone.
Mhm.
Since the introduction of streaks, I almost have no blues. And I don't consider myself a competitive person at all. It's not like I'm trying to be like the world record holder of streaks here, but there's no denying that since the introduction of them, like,
oh no, I think you're very competitive. When you had that big streak going, you wanted to get those 30 days. So So like you go extreme with the regiment, whereas you might not be as extreme if those streaks weren't there.
Yeah, it's almost like it grounds the vibe score. It adds a layer of it that makes you want to push harder.
Totally.
and I love it. The new Vibe Score update is going to be more difficult.
Okay.
It's going to be more forgiving on 90% of days, but on days where you're up in the middle of the night too long, which happened to me a couple of times this week, I wasn't punished. Like my Vibe Score was not brought down because of it, but it will now if I'm awake too long, because being awake too much during the night definitely affects your vibe. It definitely affects the way you feel. If you're up 3 hours in the middle of the night, you're not waking up feeling like you're going to conquer the world. You're definitely.
Yeah. If you're up 3 hours during the night, that's crazy. But there's a lot of times where I've been up 1 hour and it's like, if I go back to sleep after that, another 3 hours or 4 hours after that, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. It's pretty.
But yeah, anything like above 2 hours, when you wake up in the middle of the night and you just can't sleep.
Oh,
like,
I know.
okay, I'm not going to touch my phone because that's going to make me more awake. So then you're just sitting there in the dark like a clown, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to sleep.
I ordered that stuff. It should be coming. Remember, I sent you a picture of this, like it's like a flower or something that you said you can. You said at La Verità they sparkle that on the pasta or something. Saffron?
Oh yeah,
was it saffron?
Saffron.
Yeah,
they have a saffron risotto.
Yeah, the truth is out. I ordered that stuff, so it's got.
It's a spice.
It's a spice, but it's got it's a powder that has all kinds of like sleep stuff in it.
Okay.
So it should be arriving. I got a bag for me and a bag for you.
Oh, nice.
Nice, yeah.
Nice.
I'm the R&D guy.
You are. The guys I was having dinner with last night, or at least one of them, is like super gym guy. Like I'm not gym guy. He's like gym guy. He like, you guys watch the same stuff. You do all the same stuff.
We for sure have the same YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, you definitely have the same YouTube algorithm. And like they know, like, okay, I'm like in decent shape or whatever, but like I'm not hardcore like that. Oh, I was telling them about you, how like you're like the biohacker guy. You're the guy who does all the research. You're the guy who will.
I don't do all the research. I watch the guys who do the research.
You watch the guys who do the research.
I'm not looking through
You learn
journals.
from the crazy biohackers.
Yeah.
You try to apply certain things that interest you to yourself. Whatever works, cool. Whatever doesn't, fine.
Yeah.
But then whatever works for you, then you will introduce it to me, because I'm not going to be that guy. I'll do like research on cars or like guitars and stuff. But
yeah, well, that's your passion. We go deep on what we love.
yeah, exactly.
And I've always loved this stuff.
Forever.
Yeah,
So-
it's like my hobby.
and so you bring it down to me, and then I can bring it down to other people in an even more simplified way.
And that's what I think.
They're like, how'd you lose weight? What are your workout routines? My back was destroyed for like a year and a half, and I didn't go to the gym for a whole year and a half. And all I did was eat 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day. That's how I lost weight. I'm
calorie
not saying
deficit.
it's the healthiest way to do it or whatever, but if you're just at a deficit, it's not that hard.
Literally,
It's like
keto, carnivore, high carb, low carb, fasting, blah 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 blah. They're at the foundation. They're like religions. Well, not to get into religions here, but the foundation of them is all the same. It's calorie deficit.
yeah,
Sure, there's some hormonal things that like create edge cases or whatever, but for the most part, if you just eat less than you consume, or burn or whatever the fuck it is, you're gonna lose weight. Calorie deficit.
yeah, it's not that hard. But it is, I guess, that hard because when you're in the loop, your body, like you're trying not to eat, right? Then your body's screaming at you for more. Like it's been so used to eating garbage for so long that when you fight it, your body's like, no, give me more of that. Give me more. That's the hard part. It's not like mentally you can tell yourself, I won't eat. That's easy.
Yeah.
But then the hunger comes at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock when your body is already programmed to want those things. That's where the struggle comes. And that's where you're like, I'll do it today.
Oh, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like, I'll eat what I want today and tomorrow's a new day. But then every day they're just binging, right?
Every day is tomorrow.
So, but I get it. I understand. Like we're humans. Like maybe it's way easier for me. I can go fast 3 days, let's say, if I want to tomorrow.
But you've been doing it for years.
But I've been doing it for years, and it's like a normal thing to me. And I understand that, okay, maybe the hunger will cause a little headache, but we just power through it because the results over 3 days are going to be great.
Yeah, same for me. And I think same for every human. If every human would just use logic Like if you receive logic, you read something, you say, oh, going to bed early or not drinking wine at night will help me lose weight and make me feel better. Everyone in the world would do it.
Mhm.
But logic is not what runs this operating system.
Logic doesn't run any operating system. What I noticed, and not just in like for food related things or fat versus skinny or whatever, but like in anything, there's always crazy arguments to whatever point anyone's making, whether the point is right or wrong, right? If you talk politics, people on the right think that they're absolutely right and that the people on the left are insane. The people on the left think the people on the right are absolutely insane. Who's right, who's wrong? It doesn't even matter. Whatever works for you is fine, whatever.
Yeah.
So like there's never logic. It's always emotion based.
Everything is emotion based because we are chemical creatures. We're
we're
chemical
human.
things
We're
going on.
imperfect beings.
I don't think we're imperfect. We're only imperfect if we think we're supposed to be robots,
Yes.
but we're not. We're animals.
Mhm.
We're flesh. We have neurotransmitters. We have chemical things firing off in our body that run the show. We think we're way smarter as a species than we are. We're very intelligent. Our body knows incredible things, but in a simple way, if you've been doing something for 30 days, it's extremely hard to do something different than what you've been doing for that 30 days. Even for me, like now I'm like, I've been cutting, which has been helping my vibe scores because I'm not binging. I'm tracking all my calories. It's been like 40 days or something. And the first week or to get into that was extremely difficult because, I was ripping around, 17% body fat. I was looking a little fluffy for a while. And, I was ordering Krispy Kreme once every couple of weeks. And that I was in that loop of being around, 160 pounds. I'm not a big guy, but I should be around 145, 148.
Okay.
But to get to where I am now took like 6 months of false starts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we know what we got to do, but it's so hard to get it going.
Summer's coming. You need that summer bod.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm going to Vancouver. I'm going to Montreal.
Oh,
Got some trips planned.
Nice.
We're going to see Oasis. Got to be ripped for Oasis.
Got to be ripped for Oasis.
But logic doesn't run the show. And most people don't know that. Everyone thinks they're right? That's why everyone does what they do.
Yeah.
And until we figure out that there's something else going on, right? Like you can always look outwards. Oh, I hate these guys, or these guys are always right, or these guys are always wrong. Unless you start to figure out that that the world is what's going on inside.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that the outside world will get better if you figure out the inside, that's the whole idea of vibe.
Yeah.
Because vibe doesn't care about your feelings. It sounds weird, but if you're sleeping well, if your heart metrics are in line, if you're getting good REM, good deep, and you're consistent, you're going to start to think in a more balanced way. You're going to start to see
more
the world
rational
in a
way.
more rational, balanced way.
Mm-hmm.
It's still hard to human, but if you're eating nachos every night, if you're drinking all the time, if you have inconsistent sleep patterns or not even the self-awareness that you even know how you sleep, then the bad guy, good guy life that you live, where that's what's going on the outside, you're the wise guy, you're the smartest, you're going to keep doing that forever, repeating the same patterns.
Yeah. And if you're not vibing high, if you're not like a master of your own kind of universe, you're always going to find shit to talk about in other, like on the internet or other people. You're going to get mad. You're going to like, this is going to piss you off. This is going to bother you.
You're gonna be reactive.
You should do things this way. My way's right, your way's wrong. But like, that's like the norm, right?
Totally.
Look at Instagram comments and stuff like that. Like everyone is just screaming. Everyone's, I'm right, you're wrong, whatever. But like the people that are balanced, that are vibing, that are sleeping well, they're eating well, whatever they're inputting is positive, not negative. They're like so zen, almost at like a God level of just chill. Like you can see something and you won't react. You'll just be like, look, they're on their journey. Who am I to judge them, right?
That's
I'm on my journey. All I have to worry about is me and my family. I don't care if you're having a meltdown or not. Like it's not. You're on your path, and I hope you do well.
Yeah, if you're constantly reacting to things outside of you and outside of your control, you're going to live in an eternal loop of no growth.
Yeah,
you're going to live like instead of spending that time being mad and commenting and judging and doing all that stuff, all that time is wasted not building that thing you want to build, not being the person you want to be, not building the body you want to build, not being the person you want to become.
Mhm.
And all that time is spent pissing it out into ad revenue for social platforms that don't give a crap about you other than preying on your lack of self-awareness
Yeah.
in your chemical body that you have no idea. So they give you content that makes you feel like you're right every day
Yeah.
because they give you a feedback loop. They're like, yeah, make them feel like they're right all the time. And all you're doing is driving dollars into Elon and Zuckerberg's pockets.
Exactly. It's funny. Like even I'll get into a loop sometimes of like a Reels loop or something like that where you're just scrolling.
Oh, I know it.
And like I watched it something the other day. I noticed it. It was like a Tucker Carlson interview clip of some sort. I watched it. I agreed with whatever he was saying with his guest.
Well, of course, it was in your algorithm.
It was in my algorithm, yes.
Of course.
But I agreed with that one. And I leaned towards conservatism, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. But then I was in a loop of just extreme right wing videos and extreme conservative videos, but like on the far right. And even though a lot of things they say I agree with, a lot of the things they say I don't agree with. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, this is the feed that it's giving me. But even the things that I like, I'm like, bro, you need to relax. Like, you're so angry. You're so insane. So like the people on the right, the people on the left, like equally insane.
Yeah.
Right. But that is what it was feeding me. But I had the self-awareness to be like, it's giving me the stuff that I usually like, but this is even too much for me. Like I have to put this away and write not interested. And then I click not interested, even in the things that do interest me, because it gives you too much of what you want. And it starts to reinforce and like program you to hate what the other thing is, right?
Exactly. So imagine the people without that self-awareness, they spend not like one day or a couple of hours in a loop. They spend years in a loop and
Life.
They start to think that the people who are not getting their feed are totally nuts because they're like, well, how can they think like that? Like not knowing that someone on the other side has the exact opposite feed that's making them think the exact opposite, the same about them.
Well, it's funny. We were golfing with our friend the other day. We're not going to say names or anything, but he's like politically, he's like not left or right. He's just like a normal, like most people in the middle, you know?
Yeah, most
logical.
Most people are a good vibe. They're in the middle, but they're quiet.
Exactly. You're quiet. So he says he randomly gets a FaceTime from his grandmother living in Seattle or something. And like, she says, hi, whatever. And then like the first thing she says is like, you still have your Tesla? He's like, yeah, it takes me to work every day. It's cheap. It works, whatever. And she's like, I think you should sell it. Like, how could you be supporting a Nazi like Elon? And he was just like, Grandma, you need to stop watching CNN all day, every single day, because you're just you don't even know anything about Elon or what he's done or what he does. You're just regurgitating the headlines that you hear on CNN and on whatever, Twitter, not even Twitter, the Blue Sky or whatever they call it.
Yeah, just an endless barrage of like sitting there, receiving that information. That was really funny, by the way, when he was saying it. He was like, back off.
Yeah. He's like the nicest guy. So he
is an absolute sweetheart. I'm hoping he's listening to this.
Like if my grandma told me that, I love my grandma, but if she told me that, like, yeah, I'd probably tell her to fuck off. You know, not my like. I'm not. I'm not going to say that. My grandma would say that.
You said you dropped an F-bomb. I love it.
Oh, I did. Sorry,
it's okay. So you, man.
Yeah. So but that stuff bothers me. You know, it's like, yo, stay in your lane. Like, if you're gonna have an argument or you're gonna say something, give me the facts that tell me what I'm doing is wrong. You know.
But just like the conversation we're having, this is not about logic or facts.
Exactly.
It's about an unaware person who has low self-awareness, right? Unaware person who is just, their words just show where they stand in the world.
Yeah.
In front of their couch, low steps, literally every day, terrible REM sleep, low vibe. And when someone says that, I feel bad. It's like, I let them have it. I don't argue with them. And I'm just like, yo, it's like you're sick. You're sick. And I'm creating a company that will hopefully bring some self-awareness to you or to the butterfly effect one day. But that's what we're building here is a self-awareness machine.
Yeah.
Brandon, one of our great friends and pair users, said that he loves the self-awareness that it brings him.
Mhm.
He loves the fact that it gives him simple information that's easy to use and gives him self-awareness about the behavior that potentially led to that.
Yeah.
And that level of self-awareness, like the lower the self-awareness of the population of society, the easier they are to sell shit to
Yes.
because they have no idea where their impulses come from.
Mhm.
But that's why I think it's so important to build a company that not only gives them that self-awareness, but rewards them for that self-awareness.
Yeah.
And that's what we're building here.
It's almost like, I don't know how this fits in, but like back in the day when you would wake up hungover, you know, you wake up hungover as a dude, at least, you're like extra horny that day when you wake up like after a party night or whatever.
Can't relate.
You wake up,
No, I'm
you're
kidding.
you're in your animal mode. You want to eat like shit. You're right. You want to continue eating bad. You're gonna maybe keep the party going or whatever.
1,000,000%.
Because your brain and your mind has been so poisoned from the night before that you wake up and you're so unclear about everything that you can't control your impulses. But when you're clean, when you're crisp, when you're clear, you're controlling your body, not your impulses, not your gut, not anything. It's you. You're in control.
Yeah, you're not in fight or flight.
Exactly.
It's like when you're super hungover, and I knew that I was hungover for like perpetually for like 10 years.
Yeah, me too.
And those exact behaviors. You wake up, you do the thing because you're all jacked up. Then I used to go to get, falafel. I used to get burgers. I used to get poutine. I used to get all of that in one sitting, take down like 3, 4, maybe 8,000 calories, veg all day, watch TV, rot all day, put on like.
And that would be on like a Saturday. And then on the Sunday, exact same thing.
Yeah,
and then
Saturday night, go out, go friggin' bananas,
Yeah, you've ate so much that you've put yourself into a coma in the afternoon, and you're ready to rock it.
And think about in that state on that Saturday afternoon where I'm just like stuffing my face and like doing all kinds of things that you can imagine a single guy would do on their couch hungover.
Yeah,
watching 40 episodes of Ancient Aliens.
Nice.
And then like, am I in this? Like, imagine that's the extreme. Like, I'm gonna go around now telling people like who built the pyramids. Like, I know anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the example of people who think they know what goes on in politics or
But see,
society.
like what you just described though, like that old school hungover Saturday, like that's like a rotten state of mind. And it's a state of mind that I see so many people on. Like earlier in the year or the end of 2024, I went on like a unfollowing binge and I unfollowed like 1,000 people, even if they were my friends, even if I knew them well or whatever. Because if you're having those weekends and those are in your stories and that stuff, like I don't want to see that.
You're inputting that.
I'm inputting it and it turns me off and it makes me angry. I'm like, look at you. What are you doing, bro? You're so much better than that. So instead of me being mad at that, I just unfollow them. I don't have to see it.
Exactly.
You're on your journey, go do your thing. And then people are, why did you unfollow me?
And that's a great.
I don't like looking at your life.
And it's and you don't like looking at things that are not aligned, right?
Yeah.
With you. Just like all our feeds, all our algorithms give us stuff we like, but you have to create it. You have to cultivate your own garden of algorithms.
Exactly.
And not just be fed whatever you react to.
Yeah. And when I unfollowed like those, like 1,000 people on my personal account, I unfollowed like 1,500 people on my bigger account, my car account. And then I also cleaned up like my explore page and all that stuff. So like anything that was not good for me, that didn't make me vibe higher, I pretty much clicked not interested, don't show me this stuff. And
yeah, I do it constantly
and
too.
I've so curated my algorithm that it's almost boring now.
Yeah.
And as my algorithm gets more boring, I spend less time on social media because it's not really giving me much.
It's not triggering you.
It's not triggering me. I'm just like, okay, it's cool. It's whatever.
I absolutely love that.
So like now, for the most part, like I'm not scrolling too much. I get into the scroll every now and then, obviously, but I use it mostly to keep in touch with people. I'm never really on a feed and I'm never really looking at stories.
You've beat Instagram.
Well, yes and no. I'm on the DMs and I'm just keeping in touch with people. Not like flirting and sending photos, but like just
No, totally.
I use it as a chat, like a text message.
I'm in the same boat as you, and I feel like the not interested things
Mhm.
because I noticed I'll click not interested. I see it like picking weeds in your garden.
Yeah.
Because if you don't pick those weeds, they're gonna like take over everything. But once I spend a lot of time off Instagram, I come back and the weeds have grown again.
Okay.
They're there because they understand my patterns. They understand that when that kind of stuff's not there and I'm off the app, when I go back on, they supercharge it a little bit.
So essentially, like with social media, the algorithms, with your own personal body and algorithm in mind and surroundings, in order to vibe high, in order to have great inputs, in order to do any of that stuff, it requires tremendous discipline and hard work. It's not easy to, there's so much being thrown at you in every direction from everything. So it takes a little bit of self-awareness. It takes discipline. It takes work to not be tempted by all of that chaos.
But the self-awareness that it is even tempting, that it's even controlling you, has to
Oh
be
yeah,
there.
most people have no, like they're going to listen. If they listen to this, they're going to be like, what are they talking about? Like,
But I think a lot of people will relate.
oh, for sure.
And I think part of the vibe score, I always wanted it was like screen time. Screen time
Mhm.
as some component because we're trying to build a self-awareness machine, and your screen time should be put in your face in a way where it's actionable and you're rewarded by reducing it. Like
Yeah.
if your screen time is down 20% this week, you should get like some kind of award
Oh, totally.
on the app, and it should be celebrated by the other people and totally visible.
Yeah, totally.
Like it's boring that I go to bed at 8:30.
But what
Like,
if
I'm
you
in bed-
included computer screen time?
Well, look, we have to figure out the
Right? Like if people are working
specifics.
9 to 5 and they're on their screen all day, or
well,
if
that's
you're
the
a,
beauty of
you're a
averages.
social media content creator, right? And your
There's-
phone is on, right?
There's always an exception to the rule,
Yeah.
but there's always a way to figure it out.
Yeah,
And I
of
think we're
course.
pretty good at that, especially using averages as a baseline,
Yeah.
like we do with everything else.
Yeah, that's really good.
And you didn't mean to, but this connects directly to what you were saying about, old ladies watching the news and getting super mad, like Karens and all that stuff, because they don't understand that their constant feed, like their constant loop, their unhealthy eating, like most people when they're watching stuff are just stuffing their face with unhealthy stuff.
Mhm.
They're creating a low-grade hangover constantly all day, which puts them in that fight or flight. And when you're in fight or flight, your body wants Band-Aids. And Band-Aids are like short-term dopamine spikes, like chocolate, like, I don't know, pleasure, like more content that makes you aggressive. And you're constantly in a state of Band-Aiding yourself. And those people become sick. They can't walk. They never leave their couch.
That's
And we have family members
yeah, of course.
like that. And it's a sad thing,
Mhm.
but it's a very normal human thing.
Yeah.
But as we're evolving, there's more and more people becoming self-aware.
Mhm.
There are more companies like us creating a self-aware tools or self-aware instruments to better yourself. Cause that's what the rings and the watches, once I started wearing this, like I've been talking about Vibe Score and vibes and all
Yeah,
that
the stuff
stuff.
you were posting
Yeah.
old stuff in your Instagram stories today.
Yeah, for years from like 2017 or whatever.
You've been wanting to measure pee and poop to be able to
Yeah.
like you've been wanting to figure this vessel out for a long time.
Yeah, and I was figuring it out, but the reason I wasn't consistent or because I was in too much of a wave because I didn't have the awareness that the Whoop gave me.
No, it's
The
such a
Whoop-
good
The Whoop showed me what behaviors cause me to not sleep well and have messed up HRV or heart metrics and stress levels and all that stuff. And once I started using this, my focus had like hypersonic boomed.
Mhm.
And that led to the creation of Pair and it led to all of this. But we've been so consistent now for so long. Even like it doesn't mean we're like perfect, that we live perfect days every day. No,
No.
we still do very human stuff.
Mm.
But my highs are higher and my lows are higher.
That's great.
And my ruts are shorter. The loops are shorter.
Yeah. One of our friends who I think would be the last person to ever get a wearable to get his health metrics got it, Hosey.
No way.
So Hosey got a Whoop. He sent it to me and we're going to get him on Pair.
We saw that he had his journal, but did you speak to him after that?
No, I did. Well, he told me he wanted to see how he sleeps.
Sure.
See if it's efficient sleep, good sleep, or whatever. But yeah, everyone always has a different reason for wanting to get a wearable and know a little more about themselves. But it starts off as one thing, and then you're like, oh, how can I get this better? How can I get this better? How can my HRV go higher? How can I lower my resting heart rate? How can I do things? Because I know he's in Montreal. So last time we were all in Montreal together, we all went for dinner, and he was saying how like he has crazy busy days, and by the time he gets home and after the gym does that, like he eats dinner at like 9:00. And he goes
No, I think he said even later. I think he goes to the
10.
gym at like 9:00. He eats at 10 because he needs to get his protein.
Then he goes to bed at 11, and then he wakes up at 5.
And to us, that sounded like madness because we know what that does to your circadian rhythm, to your
Exactly.
scores, to everything.
So and he doesn't eat particularly healthy either. Not bad, but not good.
but he's a really smart guy. And once he sees the data, it's going to be like so fast for him.
Exactly. So I'm very curious if he's still on that same regimen to see what his stats are. So I'm going to ask him
Yeah,
after this
'cause-
pod.
He's not the kind of guy who doesn't work hard,
No.
right? He works hard, but he's one of those guys who might see that when to back off
Yeah.
to get more results.
Mhm. And like he got older, so he doesn't like he's young. He's like 10 years younger than us. So when we were like in our healthy journeys and whatever, starting all that stuff, like he was just starting his going out journey with
Yeah,
his friends.
bottle service.
You know, you finish university, you have jobs, you actually have money, so him and his friends can go buy bottles and stuff and
yeah,
likes to-
put that money to good work.
flex to chicks.
Chicks.
But he's over that. Like he doesn't go out and stuff anymore. So I'm curious to see what his stuff is.
I think his stuff will be great, and I think he'll only get better.
I'm gonna text him right now while we're still on this pod, and
Okay.
I'm gonna see if he can send us his Whoop recovery score.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, put him on blast here.
Put him on blast.
What his score?
How long have we been on here? 44 minutes. So we can wrap this up pretty
Yeah.
soon.
So what was your recovery today? So I'll see. If,
So we'll wait to see what he says. But
Yeah.
this has been a nice casual
Yeah.
pod. There was no real plan today. We were supposed to do it yesterday,
yeah.
but it didn't work out. We both agreed that Saturday was better.
Mhm.
Dre had one of the mics because he's becoming
I
an
was just-
epic storyteller of his cars and all his stuff. But he forgot to bring the mics today.
Yeah.
He was charging them.
I was charging them. But yeah. But also I'm tired today. Is it one of those days where you don't want to do anything or see anybody?
Yeah.
That's today. So like after this podcast, I'm checking out until Monday. Saturday morning, I'm checking out till Monday. I just went on the way here. I went to buy some lump charcoal, and I'm gonna hit to the grocery store, make a Greek salad and some nice souvlaki on charcoal today.
I love it.
Go walk my dog. I haven't walked him in 3 days. Poor guy. So-
Oh, land.
yeah, I know. So like we're gonna have a nice relax tonight. And to be honest with you, I'm like 72% sure that I'm gonna at least have a whole box of cookies tonight. So I'm not on a streak. I killed my last streak. I had a blue day today, which not even that bad. But I haven't had like junk food in quite some time. Like when you can't remember the last time you had junk food,
then it's been a minute.
then it's been a minute.
Maybe the
and-
movies when we went to see.
yeah, we went to the movies. We
Yeah.
had some junk food. But yeah, so tonight I'm gonna have some Greek food, home cooked, and then I'm still gonna eat organic cookies. They're still gonna be as healthy as they can be.
Yeah.
Not as poisonous. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling it today.
Hey man, you do your thing. You do
Yeah.
your thing, and it's like vacation.
Like me, like normally, like my snacks at night are like oranges and those Honey Crisp apples
Oh, you can't
and
go.
cheese, little piece of cheese.
Can't go wrong with that. Cheese. Shout out for Ange.
Yeah, and
I know Ange listens to this pod.
my cousin Angela, she laughs so much when I say that. Sometimes I'll wake up at 1 a.m. out of nowhere and I'll just like go to the fridge and just eat cheese.
Yeah, it's funny. It's odd, but what I would
I love cheese so
based
much.
on what I've seen, you're much better off eating something high sugar than
Salt
protein and fat.
during the sleep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like if you want to wake up, like that's why they say tart cherry juice or like a candy or something.
Well, I
because-
did notice that a few times. Sorry to cut you off, but a few times like I've woken up at midnight. Like most people don't go to bed until midnight. Like I try to sleep around 9, 10. But let's say I wake up at 12 or 1 and last thing I ate was at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Like I get a little hungry at that time. Peanut butter, like one nice big spoonful of peanut butter, I often get very good vibe scores after that.
Hey, you heard it here first. Because
Yeah, the
We're-
cheese never gave me good vibes.
no, the
score,
cheese, the
but
cheese won't help you.
the Baby Bell cheese. Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah. But there's sugar in peanut butter, so that could
Yeah.
be helping. But that's cool too because we're actually developing our own scientific like research because people are trying things, they're telling us about it, and we're seeing their scores. So it's this whole thing's a science experiment too,
Yeah.
where our users are trying things out and seeing how it works. And you're one of them. So
Yeah.
I'd say cheese, no, but peanut butter better than cheese.
Yeah. I actually want to see here. I'm curious to see Alexandra's scores today because I know she was like, so see, I'm looking at her stuff. She, in her last 30 days, she had mostly like the first half of the month, like purple days, pink days. She had in a span of 4 days, she had 3 hundreds. And then blue, purple, red. She lives in Atlanta now, but she's from Montreal. She went back to Montreal.
Okay.
So
She's on vacation.
she's on vacation or travel or whatever. But it's really funny. You see a lot of people, and it's like if you're not in your regular regimen, if you're not in your regular routine, you're bound. Like it's not like a blue day. Like her scores are still decent, but you're not optimal when you're out of your routine, right?
Sure.
And we noted, and that's why I kind of want to put a little vacation mode on Pear. Not that it really changes anything, but like Scotty. Scotty's always purple.
Yeah, he's a
pretty
legend.
much always purple. But for the last like week, he's been in the Caribbean with
The family and his
the
friends.
family and a bunch of our friends, and his scores were all in the blue.
Yeah, he's having a couple brewskis.
Yeah. You're going
he's
to bed
living
late.
life.
You're
He's living
living
old school.
You're having a great and you're having a great time. But it would be great for people to like when you're so used to someone pulling such good scores,
Having that reason.
having that reason. So on the leaderboard, instead of having that little streak,
You can have a beach or something.
you can have the beach with a little umbrella or a sun that indicates this
with a
person,
number next to it.
Yeah, that this person is on vacation. And the thing is, if you put yourself in vacation mode and you're getting purple streaks, once we introduce points, that's more points. So there's so many things. And our the founders of Pear were talking yesterday on because we like to meet up and see how people are using it, how we're gonna potentially pivot or not, and how we're gonna move forward. And we're like, okay, let's say everything we're doing on this app right now works absolutely perfectly. What do we want to introduce next? So we're not going to say what we're introducing next, but definitely something we're all agreeing with is that the more we encourage people, the better they do.
Yeah.
Right?
Positive reinforcement.
So how can we make this more fun? How can we sort of gamify health to the better you do, the more points you get. And the more points you get, the more things you can do with those points on the platform or off the platform in the real world. So
Totally.
we're in the process of building this Pear 2.0 version, right?
And and we're gonna trickle in these things.
Yeah,
They're
we're going to
keep
slowly
coming.
introduce things and do all this stuff. I don't know if that's going to come before or after the launch, but regardless.
No, before. This is gonna come like
No,
in a
like-
few weeks.
No, but like the big, like the whole, like we're going to start introducing things.
Yeah.
But like anyway, it's going to keep improving and getting better. But I'm excited for this next version. We've also slowly been toying with the idea of potentially changing the name of Pear. I like the name Pear, but at the same time, it confuses people. The spelling, the logo that's a turtle.
The
You know,
fact that it has nothing to do with vibes. Like the main thing we do is vibes. score.
Exactly. So yeah, so maybe in the near to distant future, we might change the name. We might not. Who knows? But yeah, you'll be the first to know.
The experience won't change. It'll only be better.
Yeah.
But it's when I'm having first time conversations with people
Mhm.
and I'm explaining what we do, Pear kind of throws a wrench in things right from the beginning because it's like, yeah, I have a company named Pear. Oh, Pear, what do you guys do? You're in fruits and vegetables? No. We thought that Apple was a big company, so Pear would be good. But what we do is we use wearable devices to track your vibe score. What the hell does that have to do with Pear? It's like such an unnecessary intro.
Yeah. Well, I told someone yesterday and they were like, oh, Pear, because you're pairing all the different devices. So like they do get it, but
They get that, but they don't know how it's spelled.
Exactly.
So for
exactly.
App Store optimization and
Yeah, just different things. Maybe calling it something cool. So, you were looking, okay, like Instagram. Yeah, that sounds cool. Facebook, kind of cool.
YouTube, love that.
YouTube. And like a lot of them make sense. Some of them don't. But whatever it is. So that might happen. Not making any promises.
But back to
If you have suggestions,
oh yeah,
feel free to comment them or DM them or text them to us or whatever. we'd love to hear them.
We will take them into account.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
to talk about vacation mode a little bit, there's the point of Pair is not to get the best vibe score every single day.
No.
That's not the goal. The goal is self-awareness.
Mhm.
So if you're on vacation mode, or if you're like Scotty and Ange right now and you're on vacation, or Alexandra, if you see your vibe score, then you understand what the change in routine is doing. You have an awareness. You should not have a worry or a stress that you need to be performing in the purples
Yeah.
all the time. The idea is here, if you understand yourself, you can try to like bridge the gap between fun and health to like that point of like
awesomeness.
that perfect intersection.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
is 5 beers throughout the day awesome versus, 8 beers and 9 shots?
Oh, yes.
Like,
yes.
did the 9 shots give you that much more of the fun, or did you cross the chasm unnecessarily?
The only time you should be having 9 shots, you should never be having 9 shots. But the only time like you should is like if you're out and you're single and you're trying to capitalize on that. But
Or reduce your stress levels for speaking to ladies.
yes, but another good thing with like vacation mode and introducing small little features here and there is that soon we're going to bring automated insights to Pair, and the amount of learning that our AI insight whatever is like can do. It's like, okay, like you see Scotty's on vacation, okay, Alexandra went out of town, these people are out, and you can start to put like see patterns and learn of those patterns. So let's say one day in 6 months from now, I click, okay, I'm going to be on vacation, and I put myself on vacation mode for the next 7 days. It can spit out insights to me either before vacation or while I'm on
To
vacation.
optimize.
Like, hey, we found that X amount of people who go on vacation go lower by this because of this reason. So just letting you know, whatever.
Totally.
There's just a lot of learning, and it's like, yeah, you can still have fun. You can still, if you want to go get drunk on vacation or get high or do whatever you want to do, you can go do it. But we will be able to tell you when the optimal times to do that are and all this stuff. So it's like, go have your fun, do anything you want. We don't care. Like Pair encourages you to have a great time. But it also encourages you to understand what the great time does to you and how you can optimize your body and your fun at the same time.
Really well said. Because
Yeah.
that's the whole idea. And vacations have a benefit. Like in working out, like all the gym coaches, the trainers, and bodybuilding,
Rest
all that
day.
stuff, they know that not only rest day, but there's like ramp up periods of you increasing your weight. Then there's like 1 or 2 weeks where you do weight that's not at your max level
Okay.
to relax, to give it a break
Okay.
so that you can hit higher highs. And I'm really curious to see after a vacation or how many vacations per year or days does it take to like optimize your vibe. So like, let's say people with no vacations, their vibes kind of decline and go down, but perhaps a vacation can spike vibes when you get home. So I'm really curious to see that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why like I'm a big fan of introducing these small little things.
Are you
for the-
seeing a sun or like a beach chair or what?
Yeah, like the Instagram emoji when you type ocean or beach.
Yeah.
There's like a little thing of sand with an umbrella.
I like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think it's nice. That's the beauty of Dre here, is that he brings these really lovely, beautiful things to Pair, like the color scheme, the way things look, the brightness, like the gradients on the red days and the blue and the purple. It always looks really nice. And as the app develops and we keep adding new things, it's so nice to see like these 10 million decisions, like building this beautiful like tree, this beautiful garden
yeah.
of decisions we made that are our collaboration.
Yeah, it's great stuff. But anyway, that's all pretty much we have to say for today.
I think this was a great pod with absolutely no plan.
Yeah, it was a great pod with no plan. And yeah, so for our once again, for the month, Emma, Mish, Chris, you guys have dominated. So keep dominating. I just had an idea where let's say you were at the top of let's say you were in the top 3
Sure.
of this month. If you make it to the top 3 of next month, bonus points.
Oh,
So that's how we make things fun. Because now let's say, oh, I was in the top 3 for the month. Like, that's great. Cool. But now it's like, yo, if you are again in the top 3 next month, like
yeah.
now you can get a that kind of streak.
And that reminded me of something. The last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of like glitches
yeah,
in the vibe score. And the reason for that is because we're getting ready for the streaks and the points and all that stuff. And the back end has to be super clean, super tight, because when it was just vibe scores and we were showing them fine, it didn't matter if there were like duplications of stuff or like weird errors and things like that, because we were getting the vibe score.
yeah,
But now with streaks and
all the new
all the
elements,
stuff, like the source has to be so tight.
exactly.
So that's the reason why things have been a little iffy lately, is because we're strengthening it and cleaning up the back end so that
yeah,
because if someone's streak is off, I'm hearing about it or you're hearing about it.
yeah, we're getting an earful all the time. But also our users, everyone who came on, like they know this is beta testing. We are still building. We're not even releasing yet. So they're all patient with us. And
Super blessed.
And I love when they send me a text or a DM or something, because like about an issue, because they're like, dude, I need my score today. I need it.
Yeah. And I'm really grateful for it because it's strengthening me. Like, I'm a sensitive person. I take things to heart. That's just like the way I'm wired.
Okay.
And where I'm going with this is there's always a fear. Oh, if I'm going to build a consumer product, like we're going to have customers and reviews, and we're going to have to like deal with all this stuff and all these headaches and all the time. And it's kind of a fear. But doing this process of me hearing what is wrong with the thing all day, every day,
Oh yeah.
is building my armor and it's building my strength to be able to handle this stuff no problem.
Mhm.
So instead of, even if someone's sending me an error, it's not a personal attack, but I always, there's a part of me that takes it like that.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I want it to be fixed. Like, I don't want it to be bad. I want your experience to be good. But the more I'm dealing with this, the more I'm seeing that the people just want to help.
Mhm.
And I'm building resilience in myself to be able to handle, when we have 1 million users,
Yeah.
the shitstorm that comes when there's an outage.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we're getting stronger every day.
every day. Anyway, this was a great time.
I loved
Happy Monday to everybody here. Today's Monday, right? I don't know if you're listening on a Monday, but
It will be Monday when you hear this.
that's what I mean for them.
Oh, yeah,
Today's your Monday.
If you're a fresh out of the gate new pod episode listener.
Yeah, but either way, I hope you all have a great week. I hope you all vibe high, and don't forget to check out our website so that you can go on the wait list and put yourself on there. And we'll take it from there.
Have yourselves a lovely week. Hope that you kill it,
Mhm.
and may the vibes be with you.
Absolutely. We'll see you on episode 16. Peace out.
Peace.